Okay, so here we are with the second vlog in a row with the DJI Osmo Action 6. I'm not going to shoot with the macro lens, I'm using the basic one here, and I'm not going to shoot in D-Log for this video. I'm going to shoot in standard color profile, and I'll be shooting in 1:1 aspect ratio, and I'm not sure if I'll be posting this video in 1:1, 4:3, or 16:9. We will discover that together later on. Let us start the day. Okay, so the first part of my day at work has finished. I just had lunch and I'm going for a quick walk in the park, and it started to rain, which is why these cameras are quite interesting, and they are even better than the pocket cameras because you can take them out when it's raining and you can continue walking with them, recording with them, having fun with them, exploring the neighborhood with them, even if it's raining, which you cannot do at all with the pocket cameras because they aren't waterproofed like these ones here. So yeah, I think I made the good decision today to get this one instead of the pockets. Let's go to the park. Okay, so as I said, it's raining, but let's go to the park here. And by the way, I'm using this tripod, this tabletop tripod that I showed you before from Small Rig, and it's something really nice to have. By the way, I have a very important tip. If you would like to go out to record things with these cameras and it's raining, keep with you something like this, you know, this lens cloth, because you have to wipe your lens more often when it's raining. Anyway, I always have it in my pocket or in all my camera bags, but it's just a quick tip that will be handy if in case you decided to go out under the rain to record things. And as you noticed, I'm also using the quick release from Small Rig because you can mount it on your DJI Osmo Action 6 and you have a 1/4 inch thread on the bottom, so it's a perfect fit for this kind of tripod. I have a bunch of them at home, so just if you are wondering what I'm using here to mount this camera on this tripod. By the way, I was editing the video of yesterday, the vlog that I made with this camera along with the macro lens, and I was so happy with the result. By the way, the first part of that video was shot with the Insta360 Luna Ultra, and you people seem to like it. I got lots of comments how good were the footage, how nice they were, and so on. So once again, it's a pre-release firmware there. It's not the final one. We are still working with your feedbacks to make some tweaking to the firmware and so on, but it looks really nice. Personally, I'm enjoying it a lot, but this is not about the Luna Ultra here. Let's talk about this one. I really enjoyed the footage that I got yesterday, even though lots of them were not well in focus, especially those close-up shots, but they were so cool. I liked it, and that's why I'm happy that I'm using this one again in my workflow. I don't like to keep my things in the tethers for a long time. It's not something that I like, and probably I'll be using also the Action 4 soon, because again, it's in the tether. I saw it yesterday. I said, why not getting it out again and playing with it? So what do you think? And by the way, it's not raining a lot, just few drops. That's more than enough to have the park almost empty and almost for me alone, you know. I didn't see lots of people walking around, and that's really nice. It feels like you have your huge studio just for yourself to play with. That's nice. And I would like to remind you that I'm shooting in 1:1 aspect ratio throughout of this video. By the way, in the vlog yesterday, I told you that the delivery of the GoPro Mission 1 Pro was delayed. I don't know why. And today I was surprised because I noticed that the address that where this camera should be delivered, it's a pickup address. It's not my address, my own address, was like for like 200 kilometers away. I really don't understand what's happening with UPS with this issue that they are having on their website. When I picked the pickup location, it was just nearby my house, and now it's at 200 kilometers. Though it is still in Paris, it didn't start to ship from there. So it went from Netherlands to Paris and it stayed there. And now on the tracking, I can see that it should be delivered today, but it is still in Paris. So normally it should come to Reims and then it should be dispatched here, but it's taking too much time. I made a claim on the GoPro website because I paid once this camera was announced for pre-order, so it's been more than a month that I paid for it. It should have arrived last week, and probably it won't arrive before the end of this week, if it arrived at the end, you know. So I started to lose hope about that. I hope that GoPro will reply with something, or will accelerate the shipping, or will send me another one instead, because I think according to UPS, this might be lost somewhere. That's why the delivery tracking is not being updated in the correct way. You know, it's not being scanned physically, but it is just the schedule that is appearing on the website. So I'm a bit afraid about that. I don't know why these things happen a lot, especially here in France. But that's really annoying, especially when you are waiting for it, when your audience are waiting for it to see your thoughts about it, to see your test about it. It's not so cool. I have to be honest. I went to UPS center this morning. They were a bit lost about that. They didn't know what to say, they didn't know what to do. So they said, okay, we will see if we can ship it here instead of 200 kilometers away, though I didn't ask for it to be sent there. Anyway, let's see what they can do. We cross the fingers. Even if it's training actually, but there are people training and running here. That's so motivating. Maybe soon I can join them or try to join them. Okay, so I noticed that when you're shooting in square format on the Action 6, the field of view seems to be wider. Okay, just because it's taller, you have this illusion that the field of view is wider, though it's not wider. Okay, on 16:9 it's exactly the same, but you have just a little bit more room above your head, you know, in the vertical position. So that's what gives it a wider view. But yeah, that's not totally correct. So in horizontal width, you have exactly the same as a 16:9 normal video. Okay. So yeah, I was just checking why it feels so wide, and then I noticed that it is in square format. So keep that in mind if you're using this aspect ratio. And to be honest, I'm not sure that this aspect ratio is useful or is handy if you want to shoot horizontal and vertical, because if you'd like to crop vertically, you'll have lots of things above, well, lots of negative space above your head unless you frame it like this way. But this is not so cool, you know, you have to put the camera here. Okay, otherwise it will distort a lot. I don't know if it's really handy or if a 4:3 ratio is better. Let me know your thoughts about it down below. And by the way, I'm shooting now with an exposure compensation -0.3 well throughout of this video. Let me know what do you think about it down below. Now I'm going back to the car to get back to work. And I have to mention that the video that I recorded yesterday and everything I'm recording today is on the same battery. And that's something amazing on this camera. The battery life is insane. I used it yesterday for my 2 videos in English and in French, and today as well, and I still have 24%. So I can still use it for a little bit more. And that's something nice, especially for like walk and talk and some documenting your days and so on. The battery life on this camera is just perfect. And that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit like, to subscribe, to ring the bell so you'll not miss any upcoming posts on my channel. And if you'd like to support me, you can join the member zone where you can ask all your questions about the gears that I showcase on my channel, and I'll make sure to make dedicated videos to answer your questions. See you on another one. Ciao for now.